Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 13 of Mendelssohn Songs Without Words, Opus 67, number 1. Yesterday, we were working a little bit on phrasing, dynamics, bringing out the melody, and I want to continue that work, but pick it up in the B section. So this is starting from measure 11. I'm going to do a similar thing, try and chart out where I want my loud and soft points to be. And in general, I'm trying to keep the left hand a little bit more soft. See here, it's really important that that B flat is soft because it's a continuation of the left hand line that gets picked up in the right hand. I don't want it to sound like this. I want it to sound bring out the A, sforzando there. And here, the melody is really going, but you have all these chords. See, you're playing an A on almost every note, so it can get lost. So here, releasing a little bit more weight on my D, and this is something that I try to get the sound that I want on the D, and then I'll slowly bring in the other two voices. For me, it's hard not to sometimes get this flam kind of sound. Same thing here. We want to come out. We don't want the A to overpower things. That E flat's really important to bring out. Let's give it a go. I had a little bit of a flam kind of sound there. So in this, that part still needs a little bit of work. I think I'm getting closer. That's where I want my high point to be. I really want to hear that. So in this next section, it's not too complicated, but again, we have to bring out the melody. So this is starting from measure 15. So that's the end of that phrase. Now starting again, we want to bring this out. And we have a little bit of the left-hand accompaniment getting picked up in the right hand. So we want to make sure that that's quiet and short because it's a 16th note. Because the actual line without the melody would be so we want that to sound like it's part of the left hand. Same thing right there. This is where we really want to bring out the melody on that note. Here again, bring out the top line. So we want to hear. My singing is terrible. Same thing, top line. Now here, that diminished chord, we want to bring out the B because we want this kind of line coming out. Now this next part, we have to balance this upper pedal point, bell kind of tone. It's difficult because oftentimes when you are listening to an instrument, the highest note, your ear is going to be naturally drawn to it, so it's going to sound like the melody, but in this case, the melody is actually the inner voice. We have the left hand doing this kind of thing, and then the right hand. But then we have this on top of it. So let's see if we can get that effect. Now this part is particularly tricky because we have the melody here, stays in the right hand, and then it goes to the top voice of the left hand. So we want that to sound like a continuous line, but it's divided between. That's actually what's happening. So I'm just trying to get it, the feel in my hand, playing the top. Note a little bit louder, and it takes a minute for that to develop. It's not going to be right away. I think we're getting kind of close, but and then here, that part still needs a little bit of work, but I just want to touch on this last section before we wrap up. This whole 16th note section, this whole 16th note run, is marked pianissimo. And it's very difficult to play a running line of 16th notes very evenly, but also very quietly. So I want to just try working on the right hand very softly right now. And I'm trying to move into the key a little bit slower. Excuse me. And just doing the left hand as quietly as possible. See, what I find when I play softly is sometimes because I'm trying to play soft, the note doesn't get played fully. And that's usually because I'm not releasing enough weight into the key because I'm trying to hold up a little bit, which gives me a lot of problems holding up. So I find playing this 3 inside soft difficult, so I'm going to isolate that moment. And then I also find playing leaps difficult quietly. And this is going to be, just takes a lot of experimentation. It's very difficult to play softly, I think. Well, see, sometimes not all the notes sound. Especially this moment, getting up there quietly. All right, let's see how soft we can get this section. And I'm not using the soft pedal here. I think, generally speaking, that's for very specific kind of sound and effect, and I don't think it's appropriate here. Especially leaping down to that octave, pianissimo is very difficult. So I think we're getting closer on some of the dynamics. This is the stage of the practicing that gets even more and more challenging when we're really trying to bring out the subtleties of the piece, get the phrasing, the dynamics together, but it's also the most fun because it's where the true music comes out. So hope you enjoyed, and we'll pick it up tomorrow, which will be our 2-week mark. Thanks.